Oh, funny story. Yeah, I was sick earlier this week, so, yeah, bright idea. Not going to school one day this week. Decided I'm all better. I go out and see this movie, one of my most anticipated movies, of the year. Finally go out and see it. I'm so pumped. I'm in there. I movie sneak in. Don't tell anybody. I sneak in. I get and see this movie. I get in. I'm sitting there. I'm watching the movie, and about an hour, 45 minutes into it, I start coughing. I get out of my seat to try to contain myself because I don't want to disturb all the other people in the audience. So I get out, and I rush downstairs, and I go out for a split second just to contain myself from coughing. And just as I'm about to walk back into the auditorium, the guard stops me, asks me for my ticket. I tell him I don't have it. I'm asked to leave.
After midnight, we're out of control. We out of control, we out of control, we out of control. Let's go. After midnight, we let out the ghost. We out of control, we out of control, we out of control. Let's go. The Rocky Horror was some sort of freak show. We're on the border of complete disorder, just let go. So when the clock strikes midnight, everyone lose control. And let the freaks come out tonight. 9 to 5, I hate this job. It's gonna be the end of me. Since when did time become my big...
Let Me In. Now this movie is a remake written and directed by Matt Reeves, who also did Cloverfield and a bunch of other stuff. Don't know what it is. But this movie is a remake of a Swedish film directed by Thomas Alfredson called Let the Right One In, back in 2007, back in 2007, 2008, when everything was good about this movie. It was known for one of the best vampire movies of all time. And right away, as soon as it comes out in the USA, Matt Reeves is asked to direct it. I'm going to just throw this off the bat. This is probably one of the best remakes I have ever seen. I mean, sure, there's some pretty good remakes out there that don't really need to be remade. This movie never really needed to be remade, but I'm pretty glad it did. I mean, this movie had a lot of things so good about it that I'm just going to tell you right now. Number 1 and 2, the acting is so unbelievably good. Chloe Moretz plays Abby, as known as Ellie in Let the Right One In. Owen, played by Cody Smith-McPhee, he was also in The Road. Chloe Moretz was also in Kick-Ass. He plays Owen in this one, also as Oscar in Let the Right One In. But they do perfect for the role. They know exactly where they stand in the whole movie, and they pulled it off completely awesome. Number 2, the way the movie is shot is beautiful. The cinematography and the direction by Matt Reeves is outstanding. Also, another thing I really liked is how Matt Reeves directed. He directs it with such tone and such darkness and feel to it. This movie is a lot more violent and a lot more darker than Let the Right One In. Even though I thought a lot of the characters were kind of gentle with each other, you know, they knew what they were doing, but still, it had some life to it, you know what I mean? But this one definitely has a lot of darkness, lots of violence. Wow, when the violence hits, it hits pretty hard. But I just love how this movie was paced, directed, acted completely. This whole movie was set up to be way darker and not as better as the original. Definitely not as better as the original. The original is a masterpiece, but I definitely give this one a lot of credit. Definitely recommend it, even though it's not the hottest movie out this weekend. Social Network definitely beating it at the box office. But I definitely recommend Let Me In. I mean, it's the perfect remake. Even though a lot of people have been kind of dissing it, got a lot of mixed reviews. A lot of mixed feelings about it. This movie's a little on the iffy side, but I love Let Me In. I will always love Let the Right One In, because that one still exists. So definitely going to give Let Me In a 9.5 out of 10. Wow. I was very impressed with this movie. Just, if you go out and see this movie, if you're a big horror fan or a big Let the Right One In fan like me, you're definitely going to like this one, even though it's kind of set darker, it has a darker tone, more violent, gruesome, a lot of that stuff. You're going to love that, even if you love that sort of tone. Sure, Let the Right One In will always exist, it will always stay intact, but for me, I love both of them. So that's my review for Let Me In, guys. I really hope you like it. I really hope you put this movie to a test. If you consider going to the movies or not. But until next time, I'm Ian Repash signing.